To access the admin side of your account, please visit the specific URL for your company via a desktop or laptop computer. The URL format should follow companyname.coinspectapp.com. If you're unsure of your specific URL, please feel free to reach out to support@coinspectapp.com for further assistance. Once you've entered in your login information, go ahead and select Sign In. Now you will enter the admin side of your account. The first tab here on the left is the Dashboard tab. The Dashboard tab allows you to see what has been completed or is currently in progress over the last few days. Here you can see the graph detailing what's been created, what's been completed, and if there's any inspections currently in progress. Just above the graph, you can use the filters to set time frame, a specific checklist, user, or property to update this graph. You can also view this graph in an inspection table format if you would like. Just below the graph, you will receive a snapshot of data, including the created, in progress, and done checklists, as well as passing rate, average completion time, and average performance. Moving on to the next tab, here we have Properties. Now, this is where you can add in additional properties if you need to. Let's say you open a new store and you need to add a new property. You can go ahead and start a new property category. Let's call this San Francisco and select Save. Now I'll enter into that category and begin entering my property. To do so, I'll select the blue New Property button here. This is where I can enter in all of the information, such as the name of the property, we'll call it the SF store, and the address. You will also want to enter in the country and the time zone. I'll go ahead and select Save. Now you can see that my building has been created and I can see all of the information here. This is also where you would go to edit any information associated with the property if you needed to do so. Clicking back here, now I can see that my property has been added to my property category. In order for this property to be applied on the mobile side, you will then want to add it to a user group. And I'll show you here in just a few moments how to do that. The next tab we have is the Checklist tab. This is where you can view all of the checklists that you have on your account or build new checklists. Here I'll select the Restaurant and Food Service Checklist category. Here we can see we have several checklists to choose from. I can click into a checklist if I would like to edit it, like so. I just selected the bar closing checklist here, and now I can scroll down to view the editor. This is where I can enter in new questions, edit current questions, or adjust the checklist accordingly. Once all of my edits have been completed, I'll want to hit Save. Moving back to this category here, if there's a checklist that has data associated with it, meaning that it has been used before, you will not be able to edit that checklist. For instance, if I click on Back of House Closing Checklist and scroll down to view the editor, we will receive this message letting us know that it's currently linked to an inspection, so we have to duplicate it in order to make any edits. So here I'll select Duplicate, and an exact copy of that checklist will be created. This is where you can go ahead and make all of the edits necessary for your new version. You can see here we have copy added to the title, and scrolling down, now we have the editor available to us. Once you make all of your edits, select Save, and then apply the new version checklist to the user groups needed. The next tab on the left is the Users tab. This is where you'll be able to add a new user, as well as edit an existing user. So here I'll go ahead and search for my account, and I can see the user groups I'm a part of, as well as my permissions. To quickly go over the different permission levels, an agent is someone who is only needing to use the app to complete inspections. They will not need access to the admin side. This mid-level administrator will be able to complete inspections on the mobile app as well as have limited access on the admin side. What this means is they will only have access to the user groups that they are a part of. This app administrator level involves unlimited capabilities and visibility on the admin side. So you will see everything and have the ability to edit checklists, add users, delete users, etc. The only caveat is that you will not have access on the mobile side. You can also change permission levels by selecting which permission you would like and then selecting Save at the bottom of the page. Here you can see the username as well as that person's email address, and here is where you could reset a password if needed. When doing so, you will want to verify your password by entering it twice and then selecting Save. All of the information you see here is what is required when creating a new account for a user. Moving on to user groups. User groups allow you to decide who has visibility to what particular checklists based on the locations that they're at. I'll go ahead here and search for a user group that's specific to one location, and I can see here we have members, checklists, and properties associated with that user group. In order to add a new user, you'll use the drop-down menu here in the Members tab to locate them, highlight them, and select Add Selected. This will then give them access on the mobile side to this user group. If you want to remove a user, you can use the trash can here. If they have inspections associated with this property but no longer need access to this property, instead of deleting them, you'll want to go ahead and change them from active to archived using the drop-down menu to the right. This will remove their access but keep all data intact. The same process works for checklists. When you have a new version available, you'll want to go here, using the drop-down menu and the search bar, find your new version, and add it to the user group. If you want to remove access and there's data associated with it, you'll want to go ahead and archive it to remove access on the mobile side. Anytime an update is made to the user group, all of the team members will need to sync by using the cloud icon on the app or log out and log back in order for these changes to take place. You can also create a new user group by selecting the blue New User Group button, and here is where you can enter in the name of your user group, select Save, and then add in the members. I'll go ahead and start adding a member here. Add Selected. I'll add a checklist. Let's do our back of house closing checklist. And I'll go ahead and add a property that we added before. Now when I select Save, this user group is all set up, and Amanda will now have access to that back of house closing checklist for our SF store. The next tab is the Assignments tab. The Assignments tab allows you to deep dive into the specific checklists that have been completed or are currently in progress. You can use the filters above to filter for specific timeframes, properties, checklists, or specific agents to find the information you're looking for quickly. Here, I'm going to select a specific user, and I can see that they have created one checklist on July 11th. You will also be able to see the property it was created at, the specific checklist, as well as the status of that checklist and how long it took for them to complete it. You can click into this specific checklist as well to see all of the information associated with that particular inspection. Scrolling down, I can see the different answers that were provided, as well as the score that was provided. Any notes or photos added to the checklist will also show up here. You can add a summary as an admin if you wanted to add additional notes regarding that checklist. For instance, this needs to be followed up on. Now I can hit Save. This summary will also show up on the PDF report. I can select Create PDF here in order to generate a PDF report that I can download to my computer for reference. Once it's been created, You'll be able to select download and download that PDF to your device. Lastly, the Settings tab has to do with your account settings. Most of this was likely set up by the CoInspect team. However, you can go through here and edit any information needed. Here you can see the ability to allow admins to log in. You can turn this on or off if you would like. You also have the ability to create preset answers for your checklist if you'll be using multiple answer options. You also have the ability to add logos to your account. So if you want your logo to show up on the login screen, the navigation bar, which is right here, or your reports, this is where you can add in that photo by selecting Upload an Image. The additional tabs will likely not be messed with on your side, but if you have any further questions, feel free to ask support@coinspectapp.com for assistance. The My Account tab here allows you to change your password for your specific account if needed. Finally, we have the Log Out button for when you're done using the admin side.